Hello and welcome back to another Understand Your Buyer video. In this video, we're looking at protective domains. So what is it? Well, an easy way to stop your competition and to protect your brand is by owning not only the domain names for your business, product or service, but also the close alternatives. Prime example here, I own clearsalesmessage.com, but I also own clearbrandmessage.com. Cost me about £10 a year to have that domain name. And the reason I have that is it stops somebody trying to copy my name and it stops somebody competing against me because I own those close matches, those close alternative names. Hence the term protective. So I'm helping to protect my main brand, Clear Sales Message, by owning similar domains that copycats and competitors could use. One of them in particular is Clear Brand Message. How does it work? Well, it works because anybody looking to copy or compete with you is going to need to secure a domain name to operate from for their website. It's likely to be a .com, and they're likely to come up with something that's very close or very similar to yours. And I actually had this in the early days of Clear Sales Message. I had people actually try and copy me, and I had to buy domain names to try and stop them from doing so to protect myself. I'd rather spend £10 a year to protect my business from copycats by owning a domain name than thinking, I don't need to buy it, it'll be fine, and then potentially spending thousands of pounds on legal bills and trying to fight battles that maybe I'm not even going to win. It makes sense to own those close match domain name terms to protect your brand. It's a protective domain. So how can you use it? Well, to make this work, you're going to need to do a couple of things here. The first one is you need to own all of the .com domains for your business, product or service. So if your product is called Bob's Magic Widget, I would expect you to own bobsmagicwidget.com. I wouldn't expect you to just own bobswidgets.com, which is the main company. I would expect you to own the .com domain name for the actual product itself as well as for the company. So that's the first one. The second one is to consider owning the close alternative names that your competitors could use if they're copying or competing with you. This is quite hard to explain for you specifically what you might need to do. So I'll fall back to the example of myself, which is Clear Sales Message versus Clear Brand Message. It's a very close alternative term. It's one of a few that I own. The third thing, as an added bonus, if you can own the term for your offering, now this is known as the vernacular, then your streets ahead. A prime example of this is DIY.com in the UK. DIY.com is owned by B&Q. They're a DIY company. DIY is the industry they're in. That is the domain name for their industry. Yes, admittedly, it would have been a very expensive domain name for them to buy, but because they own the domain name for their industry, they're in a really good position to protect themselves. And the best way to kind of think about this is loads of different ways we can work out what the vernacular is for your business and what the best term is. But if you think about what's the most basic term, how would somebody refer to your business, product or service? If they're not Googling it and they're not doing anything else, what's the term that they would actually use? Or actually, if they are Googling it, what would they type in to Google it? DIY.com, for example. If you can own the domain name like that, a vernacular domain name, and they're not all millions of pounds, I can assure you. There's some amazing ones out there that are very affordable, but it takes some thought and logic. Then that's another step we can take to protect your domain name, protect your business. So that's protective domains. Owning alternative domain names and redirecting them to your original website can protect yourself against the competition and copycats. Well, that's it for another Understand Your Buyer video. And if you like this kind of stuff, then you'll definitely like the book, which you can buy at understandyourbuyer.com.